My mom calling, so I had to stop the video because it's my mom.
Fine.
Okay, now what you said you talk about the club and the
So
cops.
finally, in October, they started investigating it in February. By October, and something told me not to go to work. I didn't go to work for 2 weeks because I was like, oh, I'm not going. Something just told me not to go. Well, they wait until I'm there, okay? And then they call this other girl in, and what happened was, dude was like, oh, blah, 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 can you give me some Coke? It's my birthday, yada. I said, I don't know how to get that. For the whole year, I couldn't find it, didn't know how to get it, don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. Finally, in October, I come across some. I wouldn't even have been looking for it if he hadn't been asking for it, because he was a regular. He spent like $150 a day in there on every girl. So I finally found some. I left the club to go over there and get it. And then I come back, and this dude, I didn't take none of the Coke. I didn't get no money for it. Nothing. He just snatched it out of my hand and took off, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? You can't give me none? I didn't get no money. He fucking was undercover, okay? So he charged me with trafficking, which don't make sense because I didn't.
Jail?
Yeah, I didn't sell drugs, and I didn't get no money off of it. So
you don't understand why he charged you with trafficking, huh?
Right. Well, I
Right.
only had one, and then he charged me with illegal sexual activity and a sexually oriented business because when I gave him a lap dance, I sat on his lap or something. Like,
Right.
So I guess you're not allowed to touch him. You have to stand 6 inches away. But I can guarantee they didn't charge everybody else with that. Now, did they? So I ended up doing a year over this bullshit.
Dang.
A year. Yeah. And then the same cop got me ripped off $3,000 because he referred this lawyer to me. And the lawyer and then they edited the tape of when I got picked up because I didn't go back to court on the third time because I knew I was going to get locked up. So they charged me with assault on a police officer. The cop attacked me while I was handcuffed in the back seat of the cruiser, only 80 pounds. And he was like 6'10". Attacked me while I was handcuffed and seatbelted because I told him he was going to die of cancer, which was true. You know, I can't help it. If you don't want to know the future, you know, that's not my problem. It just came out. But he attacked me and then charged me with assault on a police officer. So now I got 2 felonies. I even wrote the judge and told her, like, look, seriously, I've been in trouble my whole life. I've never sold drugs. So why are you charging me with trafficking now? I say, do you believe in God? You can't just give everybody the same charge, the same time. You got to look at the individual. And she completely ignored me, took me back before the court and said, never mind, you got just as much time, and added 2 months to my sentence. Cheated me out of my time served.
Why she add 2 months to your sentence?
They just cheated me out of my time served.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did 2 months before you got sentenced.
Yeah, so I
and
missed
they give you time
my
served.
daughter's wedding, and she was a virgin, and she doesn't believe in divorce. So they purposely made it so I would miss my daughter's wedding.
So they knew, how would they know when your daughter's wedding is?
Because I wrote them and told them that they cheated me out of my time served. I had a whole year.
Okay.
Okay, the wedding wasn't until like October.
Okay, I get it.
And I wrote back in.
So you basically
January.
told them why you need to go home so you can meet.
Well, that and they cheated me out of my time served.
Right.
I should have been out 2 months earlier.
Right, I get it.
Because they had made me do a month for waiting on women's recovery. Then they made me do the STOP program, which was almost 3 months. Then the 2 weeks I had to wait before I could get bonded out. Another week that I spent in there before I could get bonded out. And then a whole bunch of in and outs, you know?
Yeah, I get it. So that missing your daughter's wedding is like.
So I just did a year, and then I got out. I hadn't even been out a year. I stayed clean when I got out. I got a job, everything I was supposed to do, right? Well, not even a year later, here they are charging me with another charge, drugs and whatever. So that's why I left. I just did a year for something I didn't do. Right. So I'm not going to sit there and let them keep charging me with another charge every single year.
So this happened in Ohio?
Yeah. Well, it's been like that since I was 18.
Right, I get it.
Okay, every single year they charge me with something new. And it's ridiculous.
So that's why you decided to move and start over?
Yeah. Well, that and I could sue them too because it's harassment. They charged me with like 12 jaywalkings and 12 paraphernalias. And I lived on that street and didn't have a license, so I had to walk. Every time I walk up the sidewalk, they'd stop me for jaywalking or paraphernalia. Every time I walked in the alley, they would stop me or somebody would try to rob me. So there was nothing I could do. I was standing in front of my house and had a friend out there. He was going to let me borrow $50. And they fucking took him and made him leave so I wouldn't have any money just to be mean. Dude, I had a ride because I was stuck. Had to get from Miamisburg back to Dayton, which is like 45 minutes, especially if you're driving. I had to walk there. I finally got a ride. The cops pulled us over, made me get out and walk in the dead heat of summer, and told him he couldn't give me a ride. So I'm just sick of getting harassed by the police, you know?
Right.
And all I did, honestly, was stay at home, take care of my kids. They forced me out of my mom's house at, 15, 16 years old? Just forced me out. They charged me with, what was it when you bust a window?
Uh-huh.
I was only 17. My mom locked me out.
Breaking and entering?
No, it was criminal damaging.
Uh-huh.
I was 17 years old. So I'm trying to get in my house. Then she kicks my baby's dad out and says, well, he can come back anytime he wants because this is his address. Oh, but if she kicks you out, you can't do nothing about it. And I'm like, dude, my kids are here. I've had them take my kids out of my arms when I had 2 jobs, a car, an apartment, just because I didn't have custody of the other ones, just for no reason, and was clean. So every time I get clean and get a job, they either take my whole paycheck for child support, because I worked for a whole month and didn't get a single dollar at 2 different places. And then on top of that, I've been able to not get jobs because of this record. So when I do get a good job, some dude ends up stealing my car or kicking me out, and then I lose everything I own because I try to get on my feet and then leave because I don't believe in, you know, living with a guy. Let me get a cigarette. Living with a guy until you're married, because like I said, I was raised the same way as my daughter. So every time I get on my feet, I leave the dude to go get my own shit, and then they take my car, everything I own, and then they put me in jail. Every time. Every single time. I left this dude in Urbana, ended up in jail for 3 months. I freaking, this one dude, he gave me a car, and I had a job, and I was doing good, I was clean. I relapsed one time, and just did a little pain pill, that was it. And the next day, they put me in jail for 30 days. So I lose that dude, lose my car. I was staying with my mom, not him. So it was working out good. And my job all at the same time.
Right, but listen, my question was, how did you get here to North Carolina? Everything you're talking about is from Ohio. So talk about North Carolina.
I just did a year. They charged me with something else. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what it was, but they impounded my car and took everything I owned. Mm-hmm. So that day when I couldn't get out of impound, mm-hmm. I left the state right then and there.
Okay, so you came here. So what was your plans when you got here?
I was going to go to Florida to see my sister, but I kept trying to get out of the city and I couldn't get out of it.
The city?
Yeah, like the bus would take me 3 hours in the opposite direction. There was no Greyhound. And then my phone, the ticket that I had back to Ohio got erased or stolen or broke. I don't know. And then every time I did try to leave, I always ended up back in the same area. Like I couldn't leave the city at all, no matter which way I went. Okay. So I've been stuck here ever since. But
okay. Usually when people that got addictions, they change locations, it's to try to get away from the environment, to start over and stay clean.
Oh, I did that too, yeah.
You know, try to get a better life.
Because I wasn't a heroin user. I just like to do coke every now and then. Mm-hmm. But I had quit doing coke because I couldn't find it anywhere, you know? So I had met this guy, and I wouldn't buy him no heroin.
Here?
No, in Ohio.
Let's talk about North Carolina.
Well, this is leading up to that.
Okay.
I was on fentanyl for 10 years because he did it. So since I had to pay for it, I started doing it. So when I left to get clean.
Okay.
So when I got here, I didn't do any kind of opiates at all.
Right.
And then they started putting it in the dope.
And here in Greensboro?
Actually, I think this person was poisoning me because it was either putting fentanyl in the crack that I was smoking, or they were putting poison in my food because I was sick as fuck for no reason. So I started doing it, and then I got clean again by myself. I sat there in that bed for 2 whole months trying to get clean, and I got clean, didn't do no boy nothing, and guess what they did? They put me in a fucking mental hospital, court ordered, wouldn't let me out, and drugged me up and kept me in bed so long that I had to learn to walk, sit up, stand up. When I got out of that hospital...
This happened in North Carolina?
Yeah, and at the Cone.
Okay.
I couldn't walk. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't stand up. I had to learn to walk all over again because I got clean, and that's what the fuck they did to me.
So you think they were being vindictive?
It doesn't matter what the fuck I do. They're always doing something to fucking hold me down. So I'm like, fuck it. You know, why am I going to go out there and build myself up so you can steal everything I own again? It doesn't make sense for me to do that.
Right. You want to dump them ashes before they hit the floor?
And then on top of that, they want to fleece me the whole time and use me as a cow to pop out kids. Like, I can tell when I'm fucking pregnant and when I'm not. And I'm like, I didn't have any sex. So how the fuck am I pregnant every fucking year? And then my kids, the 5 that I do have, I literally had sex one time and got pregnant with them kids.
You had sex one time, got 5 babies?
I had sex one time, got pregnant. Well, the first one I had sex a lot. That was my fault.
Well, you saying, I get what you're saying. Every time you have sex, you get pregnant.
The third one,
right,
and the fourth one, I had sex one time and was pregnant. I couldn't believe it. So I didn't have sex for like 10 years after that.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, fuck that. And then the 2 last ones, I even said no, and still ended up getting pregnant. So I mean,
that cigarette go ahead and put that cigarette out because it's all the way down to the brown.
But I can't do much in regular clothes, so I'm just gonna do a little floor work.
Okay, that's cool. You can do some floor work, but like I said, so Jenny asked me to shoot a dance video for her, and she said I couldn't post it. So I told her, listen, and that's not what I do. But if I was to even consider that, she would have to at least show my viewers some of the moves because the last video she did a little 1-2 step. And a few guys commented on it. Then some people didn't believe that she really was a dancer. But hearing her stories, I really believe she's a dancer.
Okay.
But we're gonna see what she got for us today, y'all.
Okay. So it's like you do this little thing, and then like just like a little bit of that, and then I can walk like when they're on stage, you walk up to them, and then put your like legs over their face, and then draw them in, and then like. You know, just like smacking your ass. Like, I can't really shake it in these kind of pants.
Okay. That's enough.
You see what I mean?
There you go. Oh, look how you moving. She moving now. Oh, Jen, you might know something. Oh, Jen, you might know something.
I got all the outfits. I told you I had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of dance outfits just constantly being stolen from me. You know?
Yeah,
and you know when they raided the club, they took my whole bag. Didn't get none of that back.
Right.
When they took my car, I didn't get none of those dance clothes back because I was going to go to Florida and dance. So then...
You probably would have made more money in Florida, though.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was going to go there. But when they took my car and all my dance clothes, I had to start over.
Right. I get it. So that's what's going on. I see a lot of workout equipment. Your old man, he work out every day?
Yeah.
You be here working out too?
I mean, I used to when I was dancing. I don't know if I can do it now.
That's 2. Y'all see Jenny, man. Jenny in shape, man.
I try, I got some muscle for a girl. Feel it.
No, I ain't feeling, but I can see it. You look solid. Solid.
My left hand too.
You left-handed? Look at Jenny. Jenny got them.
Well, I'm trying to get a guitar and learn how to play the guitar because I think I used to know how to play, and then I forgot.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, he's got a guitar on order, so I'm gonna sit here. Since I sit here all day instead of getting high, I'm gonna just try to learn how to play the guitar.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. Who was that right there in that picture?
That's his ex-wife.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, she moved to Texas.
So it's a black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you stay with a black guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you stayed with a white man.
No.
Oh, okay. I did. I don't know why I thought that.
Because I'm white, you think?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. That's what I thought. But
now he works for AT&T.
Yeah, you ain't got don't tell.
Did a good job.
AT&T. That's an average job.
That's where she worked, and they worked in the call center for a long time.
Okay.
But that was his supervisor, so she was like harassing him to get married, and he fell for it. So,
but I don't want to talk about him because that's his personal, private stuff.
Right.
And he ain't got, I don't want to put his business out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But anyway, that's what's going on with Jennifer. I came over here to check you out. You told us how you got here. Before we interview, I do want to know about your kids. What's the ages and how they doing and where they
My
at?
daughter is 21. She's the oldest, and my second to oldest, he's 19. He's in college and works full time. And she just graduated with a bachelor's degree, so she's a nurse, my oldest one. And then my third one, she is 17. She's still in high school. She's about to graduate in May, early. So, and then my youngest one, I think he's probably like 14, but he lives with his dad's brother. They own Griswold Tire, so they're real well off, and in Tip City. And I've already tried to get to see him. I went to his football game a couple times with his dad, but I didn't want to interrupt his life and then him start asking questions. So, and then my youngest one lives with my cousin in Springfield, or in South Charleston, which is right by Springfield. And she got greedy. Like, I bought him outfits. I've tried to call him. I even had his dad go get a lawyer and come all the way from Texas, and she still wouldn't even have dinner. Like, wouldn't let me. And I'm like, you know what? That wasn't the deal, because they were going to put him in foster care. Right. And let me tell you about that story. I was pregnant the whole time, clean, completely clean, pregnant, didn't touch nothing. The very day I went into labor, because I went into labor that night, some dude pops up out of nowhere and gives me free drugs. And I'm like, dude, I've been clean for 9 months. I'm in a hotel all by myself. I've been by myself the whole time. And, me being an addict, I relapsed. And then I went into labor that very night. And I said, this was a setup. It had to be, because they knew I was going to pee clean. So they had to do something, because they were trying to get my baby. And then they were going to put him in foster care. And then I actually had this adoption agency, but they're talking about sending him to California to some church. And I said, hell no. That's like a child molestation thing waiting to happen. So I called up my cousin, because she just got remarried and she wanted to adopt a baby. So I ended up signing my baby over to her to keep him from going to foster care, and ran out on that adoption agency, and they were pissed.
Right, and then you also signed them over to them because you knew them and you thought that you'd be able to see them and have a relationship with your kids on the side.
Because he was mixed, and then my niece is mixed.
Oh, you got baby by a black man?
Yeah, and I was like, well, we could keep them in the family so they're not the only black person, in the family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they still get to see each other and play, so it worked out good. But my mom and her conspire against me. Like, it doesn't matter what I do.
The whole world conspiring against you.
They will not let me see that baby.
The whole world, everybody conspiring against Jennifer. Huh?
I mean, I see all the rest of my kids except for those two. So,
right. I get it.
And I can understand, because when I first started meeting my real dad and he was an addict, it was not good. It was not good, because then I wanted to use too.
That's what parents do. Parents do what's in the best interest of their kids.
And that's why I didn't.
They're not trying to look out for you. They're trying to look out for the kids.
Right.
So until you get yourself clean.
And I'm the parent. I know that, and I would look out for the kid too. That's why I didn't go interrupt at the football game or say nothing. Okay. Because I would have threw him off his game. Then he would have been wanting to see me, and then how would I explain?
So you keep your kids in sports.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
I can see that. I can see them in the sports, the way you athletic and you dancing, you doing pull-ups. I'm pretty sure your kids are strong.
The youngest one I'm pissed about, because they're trying to say that he has problems, and I know he doesn't.
What kind of problems?
Like hyperactivity.
He probably is.
Oh no. What it is he's the only black kid in an all-white freaking neighborhood. He lives out in South Charleston, which is all country.
Yeah, South Carolina.
They're just trying to
North Charleston, downtown.
No, South Charleston in Ohio.
Oh, in Ohio.
Yeah, it's all white country hick town.
Okay.
And I know that's what it is. They're just trying to blame everything on my kid, because he's the only black kid in the whole city. You know what I'm saying?
In the whole city?
In the whole city. That's why I was like, dude, I want to see my kid and make sure he's okay. Yeah. Because the last time, my other son was in private school, and you know what they were doing? What? They made him unclog a toilet. Like, clean the whole toilet, because he was 8 years old, took a poop and accidentally clogged it. Like, I called there and I raised hell. I said, you don't do that to an 8-year-old, make him clean out a toilet. So I'm always calling on them, checking on them.
That's right.
And God helps me because He lets me know what's going on.
That's right.
And when I find out something's going on, I raise hell until somebody fucking does something.
That's right.
You know, I might not be able to do much, but I'm not going to stand by and watch people be mean to my
Mistreat
kids.
you ain't supposed to. Period.
Right.
Okay, well, listen, Jennifer, it was a pleasure talking to you. I had to come out here just for the record. You know, Jennifer didn't call me today. I actually called Jenny because her last video did good, and some people was inboxing me again on Facebook. To my yo, go check Jenny out, get her to dance again, and ask these questions. And I'm the type of dude that I'd be afraid to lose subscribers. So when they ask me to do something, I go do it.
Right.
But so that's what it is. But it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
I got a few dollars for you. God bless you. I ain't gonna give you no money for that dance, but I'm gonna look out for you. Don't feel like it's no tip.
I've been trying to find a job. I've been filling out applications and stuff.
All right.
So.